inducing discipline happens exclusively through sport, any sport.
Have to be adaptable, and your life skills, what you talk about, are extremely important to have that adaptable mindset. And you said about focus. So adaptability and focus are the biggest qualities any.
1 out of 5 houses in Los Angeles is owned by an NBL player. That's a record that is there in books of LA real estate.
We see that India is a very sports loving country. When you look at on ground stats, athletes participating or people focusing on their inner health, fitness, or well being, that's completely opposite. Like, nobody is focusing on their fitness, health, or wanting a career in this.
Are we utilizing it to the maximum is the whole question. And I think the problem lies in addiction towards cricket. If we as public don't support the other athletes, like when we sit at home and watch a World Cup or an IPL match, the N2 we don't have when we are watching hockey or when we are watching tennis or badminton. Very honestly, I think that shift in mindset is firstly very important.
Everything is a balance of the mental health and the physical fitness that you have. If any of the one is not functioning well, you're not going to be happy about yourself, or you're not going to feel good about yourself. So I love what you've put forward. On today's Unfiltered Conversations, we have someone who I deeply am inspired by, and he's an endurance cyclist, he's an entrepreneur, and now he's advocating for fitness across India. He's somebody who's achieved a target at such a young age of 750 kilometers. That's not a joke for young people. And honestly, sitting across him today inspires me so much to focus on health, on an entrepreneurial mindset that helps you get your life back to discipline, to focusing more on how you can achieve so many things with keeping your health in mind, because health is the biggest treasure you can ever cherish as a young person. So I'm so deeply honored to invite Kanti on Unfiltered Conversations today. And it is an honor for all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me over.
What do you think of the whole podcast and the conversation that we are going to have? Like, we would love to know a bit from your end.
Sure. I've heard so much about you, Devyani, and really pleasure having this to be done at, very milestone celebratory moment for me after completing 500 kilometers of ultra distance cycling for the first time ever in my life as well. So I'm really excited, looking forward to this. You have interviewed some very big names, and me being here with you is a pleasure for me. It's an honor for me, and looking forward to this with you.
Likewise, because I really admire people who are having an entrepreneurial mindset and also take care of themselves. But going back to one question that was constantly coming to me was, why did you start all of this? I mean, from where everything came up, and what was the purpose or intention of starting something like this in your life? Because you are an entrepreneur. While we were speaking, you've started multiple ventures of yours, and you're successfully established in that. But why suddenly, take that pause and get into something like this, which is extremely challenging for a cyclist who's going to do it for, like 750 kilometers altogether?
Right. So, thank you for asking me this, because it's a very personal story of mine. I've been working all through my life, I could remember, right? Like, I got into entrepreneurship very early in my life, since I was probably 12 or 13, being on my toes all through my life, working on ventures, networking with people, talking to people about work all through the day.
Yes.
And I lost my dad a couple of months ago, close to a year ago, and that's when I realized life is not all about work, money, and success and career monetary wise. And I felt like there is something more I could do. And during the same break of me losing my dad and me wanting to stay home with mom, one of my friends suggested that I get into cycling. So she's an avid cyclist, and like cycles every day for sure, and she was mentioning of cycling to be a very relaxing sport. And when I started doing it, it is truly very relaxing, very calming. See, there are different kinds of sports even I was into. I'm sure all of us tried different kinds of sports before, like hooking onto something that we love. So, as a equestrian, I used to love horses. I got into it for the luxury sake of it, for the look and feel of it. But with swimming, again, I found a different kind of a happiness, and it's very calm during winters. But again, during summers, you don't like to do it. But with cycling, in all seasons across the year, I realize it's a very calming sport. Even now, I'm cycling in amidst peak summer, and it's still calming because of the breeze that hits your face throughout your ride.
Correct.
Right? So there is pain and struggle in everything you do, but for me, it's about that personal satisfaction. And this journey is more personal to me because I wanted to tell people, advocate people about making cycling a regime. There are probably proportionately more number of people hitting the gym on a regular basis, going to a pool or riding horses or something else. But cycling is a comparatively smaller community.
Yes.
So building this community and making it larger than what it is now is my only attempt.
You also somewhere said that this sport saved you or
Right.
saved your life. And honestly, like there's so many young people who are struggling through so many things in their life. There's anxiety, there's war, there's so much
Right.
happening. We are in an age and era where we don't know what's going to happen next, like you said.
Sure.
Can you elaborate more on, that personal struggle? Because I'm sure that many of our viewers will be able to connect with it deeply.
Right. So, I, as a human, as a person, I have gone through a lot myself, right? Like, from ageism playing a huge factor on my emotional strength since I was young. See, I was in marketing in the beginning of my career,
Correct.
used to knock doors,
Yeah.
cold call, cold email, go sit in offices for hours to meet with the paymaster, right? So it was a hell of a journey. It was a roller coaster ride for me. So for me, it naturally comes to me to work hard and to hustle. But I see a lot of them in this current generation give up so easily. And they have very little patience, and they try to hop on to new things, which is something that will only streamline with discipline. Inducing discipline happens exclusively through sport, any sport. You go hit the gym every day strictly for 30 minutes, it still builds the discipline in you. So for me, when we named this project Fear Project, the whole idea was surrounding around people having to not worry too much about life in general and live it fully. So fear stands for face everything and rise. So I'm sure you should have picked it at a different time, but I have to talk about what it truly stands for because it resonates with who I am as a person. Facing every situation that you come across, because life throws so many stones at you, so many hurdles at you. Getting across situations and becoming a better version of yourself is something that I did for myself, and that's what I convey to people around me. There was this time when people in interviews or podcasts used to ask me, was it easy to quit school, convince your parents, and do anything you wanted to do? Which is not truly, because coming from a typical family that is into strict education, do your MBA, BBA, blah, 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 I definitely didn't have an easy route, right? But it's not. I again don't believe in a typical educational system where one student has to study everything, right? Like, I understand some basic knowledge about all the matters happening in life around you is important.
Correct.
But at a certain time in life, you need to focus on one thing that is premier for you, something that attracts you to be invested into. So for me, physics, mathematics, 10 different subjects didn't make sense. And even now, what I'm doing is asking people to focus. The whole agenda is to create discipline in people through sport, which helps you focus in in your personal life as well as your career path.
That's true. Yesterday, in fact, we were in a podcast where we were speaking with HR professionals and someone who works with kids in rural areas. And in fact, she was also focusing and elaborating on the importance of understanding what the child wants and what they're really good at and what they want to focus on in their career, and build across that so that in future they will not kind of doubt themselves and they'll focus on what they truly love or are passionate about.
Right.
So I really kind of align with what you're saying.
Thank you for resonating with that.
Yeah, because that's the reality. And if you see AI is coming, or there's so many things happening, and the education system is there, but it is constantly evolving, and you have to be adaptable. And your life skills, what you talk about, are extremely important to have that adaptable mindset. And you said about focus. So adaptability and focus are the biggest qualities any.
They are cheerleaders. You have it, they cheer you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what I think is, we spoke about adaptability and focus, but you're here, 500 kilometers you've already crossed. Maybe at a 200 kilometer, maybe at a 400 kilometer, you must have felt the pain.
Right.
You must have felt demotivated. You must have felt, why did I start it?
Very sure. Very, very sure.
So I want to know that, how did you kept going in spite, all these hurdles, and we second out ourselves, or, there are so many things. It's not easy to cycle so long.
I know.
Started from Hyderabad.
Struggle.
So would love to know about that.
Sure. See, I think giving up comes easy to all of us, be it be a career, be it be a love relationship, anything, right? But me individually as a person was never, let's quit and do something new. I was never that. So for me, it's a little different. But generalizing the subject and talking about people in general or people around me, right?
Correct.
I think every time you feel like, why am I doing this? Or should I not do this anymore? Should I change paths? I think it is good if you review it, but you don't have to make quick decisions at the time you feel about it, right? Because pain is real, struggle is real in everything you do, right? I had a very bad fall after crossing about 200 kilometers. It was a big skid. There was haze on the road. They put a lot of haze to dry on the road for the sun. And we had a skid because I was driving at 40 kilometers per hour, and you cannot stop the bike, right? So I hurt myself, but you cannot stop there. It's just about closing your eyes and remembering what you started all this for, what you are in it for, right? See, there are multiple plus points for me. I don't want to lie. The country sees me. People like you who value sporting fitness sees me. There are people who don't understand about it that I'm able to advocate to and convince them to try something out. And there are a lot of, honestly, right, there are a lot of brands that are DMing saying we would love to be a part of this journey next time. There is monetary benefit as well. I just want to be honest, right? So the perks will come to you only when you do not quit. You think about your end goal and finish the journey, right? Short term, if you look at something to give you a fruit, it might not happen, right? Second time, third time when I'm doing this, I could get a big brand that's probably like a Dream 11 supporting an athlete for me, right? Like a Dream 11 supporting the athlete.
That's big, right? And I feel that it's going to happen because
I really hope so, because my whole agenda is to touch with multiple colleges, schools, institutes, road shows. So another challenge that I faced is from Solapur to Pune, they laid new tar on the old roads. And the roads were so sticky, you have to over pedal to move the bike forward. And it hurts your glutes a lot. So yeah, there are challenges you have to face and you have to move on. And I will not give up after calling it the Fear Project.
So you spoke about you wanting to go at every stop you've attended, and you've went to different colleges. You've done panel discussions.
Right.
You've advocated for what you've been working on. You've been very honest about it. But honestly, what is the, like, why do you want to do it? Like, what is the purpose behind doing these educational activities and awareness activities alongside your cycling? Because cycling in itself is a challenge.
Right.
In that you're at the stop, you're waiting, you're also doing these activities.
Right.
Why? What is the purpose behind
So
it?
there are multiple ways I would like to advocate. One is the micro level, which is going on ground to people and telling them face to face. So that micro level activations are equally important for me to be able to tell people why I'm doing something, what I'm doing, and it definitely inspires people. At one of my stops, a athlete at one of my stops, an athlete who was selected for World Championship,
Okay.
she uh, came down to meet me to congratulate me for what I am doing. She comes from a very simple living background,
Yeah.
and I instantly wanted to give her a grant of some money to support her goals. So it's all about the community. You don't get to meet these people if you don't stop by at places. And when I went to few other colleges, the way the kids cheer for me also gives me a certain high that will help me drive the next 100 kilometers. So there is my selfish reason of getting some high out of it to be
Yeah.
able to continue my journey, because it's not easy.
No, it's not.
And on the other side, I wanted to do it on a micro level. See, Instagram is on a very macro level. Many people get to see lakhs of views,
Yes.
millions of views, and I don't know how and when it is happening. A lot of journalists texting me, my team attending to them about what we are doing, and a lot of publications putting live updates of what we are doing.
That's true.
This is on one side on a macro level,
Yeah.
right? But on ground, wanting to interact with people is something that I was really looking forward to doing. There were a lot of cops we met at multiple places, stopping us to
Yes.
just ask what we are up to, right? See, we have all the permit copies to be able to do
Correct,
this from
yes.
the Sports Authority
Yes.
of India. But stopping by, even interacting with the cops, we casually spoke about their old days.
Yeah.
When they were training under the sun for so many number of hours. So now they have the comfort of sitting under an umbrella, but unlike before, right?
Yes.
Because when they were training, they had to be under the sun throughout their days, right?
Absolutely.
So talking to people,
Yeah.
the community is everything. There was another instance in Sholapur. Uh, uh, that was peak heat, 41 degrees, the highest we touched
Yeah.
in the entire ride. And we stopped by to get some watermelon. And the tarbuja vendor said, "Listen, I'm not going to take money from you, and please take it."
Wow. That's
See, I still paid him off camera, that's personal, but the way people come together, it gives you a certain satisfaction, right? So that's all I'm in for.
I mean, like the community and the whole intent of making sure that the message goes to each and every person
Right.
and each and every individual, not just on social media, is
Right.
very, very meaningful.
Right.
What are you planning in Pune? I'm very excited about that because I've heard there's so much buzz around what's
Right.
happening in Pune, and it's going to be a 500-kilometer stop for you.
Milestone
so
for
it's
me.
a huge thing.
Yeah.
So tell me more. Because
Firstly, Pune has been really warm and welcoming because, again, every city has a different way of treating new people coming to
Yes.
the city, right? Pune was extremely amazing. It's been a couple of hours I've reached Pune. We are hosting a big celebration kind of gathering
Yes.
at the Phoenix Market City this evening. With you coming, with a lot of other guests coming, so many people who are coming just to support.
I see a movement of fitness and wellness that's going around, and it's not about how you look or appear in front of everyone, it's about how you feel within. And it's about how you look at yourself and how you look at the well being and happiness of yourself. We were taught to live in an environment of hustle. Like if you're hustling, you are successful, otherwise you're a failure. But now everyone is emphasizing on sleep, taking care of yourself, and it's going to improve you and your work culture wherever you go. I feel that's very important right now.
People taking time out of their work routine giving us the time of their day to be a part of something like this itself is a level of satisfaction for me. It gives me, it's a tick mark for me that I'm doing something right. Now, how people perceive it is not something we could control. We are media people. We only tell them what we think is right. Perceiving bit is up to them. Because public have their own mindset to everything. So I just happened to also meet with Miss Namita Thapar in Pune, right? So when I texted her saying, "Listen, I'm doing this. I would love you to come to Hyderabad for my flag off." She said she's shooting. Obviously, everybody has their schedules. I'm shooting, but when you're in Pune, I'll be there for you. So she was cheering me this morning, and we had a good time. We were talking about health, fitness. So the whole community in Pune was very welcoming. When I even rang up the center head of Phoenix Market City, they see any brand, right? They have to maintain a P&L. Everybody has numbers in their mind. And activity like this has no profits associated with the P&L game. But the brands have still come forward, like Phoenix Market City has still come forward to host us, to make it big. And I think that's the way people reciprocate your efforts towards community. 100%. That's all I'm trying to build.
That's beautiful. But alongside that comes responsibility. Like you are an ambassador of Fit India by Sports Authority of India, and that's a huge responsibility that you have with you. And you spoke about media, you spoke about how you are positioned and how you are being followed, looked upon by lots of people. So tell me more about the responsibility and that pressure that you have, like you as a person going through all of that and making a mark, being a role model to many. So we'd love to know more about that.
See, there is a lot of pressure and stress that we go through. I'm sure you know, when you're under the spotlight, people track you every minute, somebody or the other, right? Like, there are always bad comments, negative approach to everything. There was somebody randomly DMing or commenting saying, "Can you try doing this without an army of people following you in the cars and helping you?" I'm like, guys, see, everybody has their own way of doing something. And for me, ignorance is bliss. I will do what I am attempting to do, and perceivable is up to public, right? Like my efforts are something that are in my control, not perceivable of people. Now, when it comes to the media aspect of things, right, there is a certain protocol when you are indirectly on government duty. It's like representing a body that is very powerful, that is very vocal, influential, and central.
Correct.
So for me, representing something like Sports Authority of India is not just an honor or pride, but it's also a big responsibility. What I speak, how I articulate, everything is under the radar, right? So it 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 is not something I have to filter anymore because there is no story attached to this. It's a lesson. I'm just speaking my heart out what really happened the previous night in the next day's video. So there is no filtering happening, right? So it's only natural that, we say what we're doing, let people perceive how they want, and, looking forward to government supporting more people like me, in fact.
That's important.
Because that is also very important to be able to scale up the advocacy about fitness and cycling.
Yeah. The sports world, honestly, like government coming forward and talking about sports and the career around sports is extremely important because we see that a lot in the West. Right now, it's emerging because of the role models that you are. And cricket has been one of the ultimate...
We should say cricket has been the only sport.
So this is like breaking barriers and introducing lots of other sports careers, I would say, that are available and that can be achieved.
Right. In fact, I want to point this out. Like, 1 out of 5 houses in Los Angeles is owned by an NBL player. Right? That's a record that is there in books of LA real estate. 1 out of 5 houses.
Yeah.
Imagine 20% of real estate owned by just NBL players. We are not talking about entire athlete community. We are only talking about one sport, a part of the community. Imagine the kind of growth financially, career wise, people could get out of sports.
100%.
Are we utilizing it to the maximum is the whole question. And I think the problem lies in addiction towards cricket. If we as public don't support the other athletes, it could include me and my own brother, right? Like when we sit at home and watch a World Cup or an IPL match, the enthu we have, having, snacks around us, one or two drinks sometimes, that enthu we don't have when we are watching hockey or when we are watching tennis or badminton. Very honestly, I think that shift in mindset is firstly very important to change the whole financial scenario and career scenario with sports.
There's one more contrast that I see when you're speaking about cricket. I'm going to get you to the inner, like health and all of that.
Sure.
But when we talk about cricket, we see that India is a very sports loving country,
Right.
In terms of cricket. But when you look at on ground stats of athletes participating or people focusing on their inner health or fitness or well-being, that's completely opposite. Like nobody is focusing on their fitness, health, or wanting a career in this, in this field. And you've been advocating for, focusing more on fitness of your inner health.
Right.
How does this all, blend well? Because it's a stark contrast. We enjoy sports, but we are not, working towards being a fitter country. Your perspective on that, because you've been advocating that.
Right. See, 1 year ago, there was no run club that you can name in Pune, in Hyderabad, anywhere. Now I can name 3 run clubs in Pune that I know personally. Alpha, there are so many. Dhati crew, somebody. So there are multiple run clubs in Pune. There are multiple cycling clubs. I think in the past 1 year, sporting has picked up in general. And that is as a result of what people already realized, right? Like when you're traveling, say, the Emirates or the Europe or the America, you see 80% of them looking fit, physically fit at least, and also a part of the community that is still obese or weak or lean, right? But I think the ratio is completely a contrast when it comes to the Indian community. And that is also because of not having strict working schedules in corporates, in offices. That includes me. I don't want to lie. Even in my office, my own team, we make them overwork. There are times when they don't sleep even for 3-4 hours when we have activities and occasions, right? But that compensating them for the work is a different subject. That's not the point. The point is them getting enough time for themselves to be able to spend on their health and their fitness, right? Yes, corporates give a good compensation for overtime and stuff like that, but they are probably losing on time with their kids, time with their family, after which comes the time in the gym.
That's true.
Right? So it all reflects upon how the community is being structured. Put a law in place. More than 8-9 hours, you cannot force people to work. You get a new shift team. Then obviously everything narrows down to people having time to focus on themselves. This is part 1. Part 2, if I have to talk about inner health and fitness to be combined, right? Being muscular, being able to flex, according to me, is not fitness. To be very honest, there are some best of trainers, very athletic people. I can name a few, like Jitendra Chauksi, who I really follow. He's a dear friend. He's the founder of Fitter. I've never seen that guy even show his abs on Instagram. He doesn't sell his abs to get business. He doesn't flex his muscles to get business. That guy is in decent formals in every post, right? So I don't think showing your muscles and showing your flex is fitness. That I'm somehow very against that. It comes across creepy to me, comes across wannabe to me. Some people might hate me for saying this, but I'm saying it because I've seen stories of people losing their life, deceased people, apologies, though they are looking great and looking fit. Because they are not probably mentally stable, they are hurting themselves, suicides, or they suffered a cardiac arrest, over consuming protein, over consuming meat, anything could result to anything, right? So there are amazing looking people probably dying in a very unexpected way, and there are not so muscularly fit people that are able to maintain a decent life.
Correct.
One big example is the yoga community.
Yeah.
They are so flexible, have high endurance.
Yeah.
They can sustain without food for a couple of days, without, I mean, they are on an auto survival mode. I'm not talking about you and I doing yoga at home. I'm talking about the proper yogic people.
Correct.
Right? People who live in Dharmshala, do yoga throughout. They also have businesses. They work on their laptops during the days. They also work for corporates, work on their laptops.
Correct.
But the atmosphere they have built for themselves. I have friends in Goa, Rishikesh, Dharmshala. These people are, I think, fitter than the so-called muscular-looking people.
That's true. Yeah.
And I think that is where I want to talk about inner health. Because emotionally being sound and being able to ensure you have a good overall health is what fitness means to me.
Absolutely, because if you see meditation or the breathing practices that you can do every morning,
Right.
just shifts your mood in the entire day and you're more
Right.
focused. Like you spoke in the first question itself, that you have to be more focused. So everything is a balance of the mental health and the physical fitness that you have. If any of the one is not functioning well, you're not going to be happy
Right.
about yourself, or you're not going to feel good about yourself. So I love
Right.
what you've put
Thank you.
forward, and it's so important to break these myths that honestly getting abs is so much of a struggle and a sacrifice of so many things, and it's not healthy. So
See, I appreciate people who are putting effort into looking a certain way.
Yes.
It's their goal. We
Correct.
have no right to say their goal
Yes.
is wrong, but
Yes.
it's not alone enough, is my point.
Exactly. So that's amazing what you've said. There's one more factor that I have got to know about what you've been promoting, that it's okay to kind of work out for 30 minutes,
Right.
like you've been advocating for that. And there's a contrast to it, that for you to be a cyclist, you have to yourself have to work for 4 to 5 hours to maintain that level of dedication towards the sport. So tell me more about this whole contrast and this thing that you need to work out at least for 30 minutes, or give 30 minutes for your fitness in a day.
See, we are in a very fast-paced world, right? Like we are running, we are doing 10 different things in a day. All of us are.
Yes.
So my advocacy is for people to focus on fitness for at least 30 minutes. That is the least you need to put yourself in a sane position, like mentally, physically sane, right? There are days when I come home, have a tiring day, and I probably crib or I show some kind of disrespect towards my mom. That happens because I'm not hitting the gym probably for the 30 minutes. Because you relieve all that stress in that 30 minutes time in the gym, and then I think your day, the rest of the day gets better. So for me, 30 minutes is something that we want to advocate as a minimum time. But when it comes to endurance athletes, right, the whole concept revolves around duration.
Yeah.
See, if I don't work out for a couple of hours during the day, when I'm not cycling, I won't be able to stay under the sun cycling for 8 to 10 hours a day. And it's not that I've built this overnight. My training has been a very gradual increase. You cannot do anything overnight. We started off with just 30 minutes a day to 1 hour a day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. So even my nutrition, right? We started off with say one scoop of protein of whey in the morning. Then we increased it to two scoops, one in the morning, one in the evening. So it's all a gradual increase, and that's how it works. Now, when I have to talk about general fitness, right? People hitting the gym is not alone the right thing, but also please have a good trainer. There are so many online training apps that are also affordable. I'm not saying have a personal trainer and be able to budget a X rupee for it, X amount of money for it. But the trainer is a crucial part because you have to ensure you have the right body posture while working out. Otherwise, you're ruining your body further, not making it any better.
Yes, absolutely. Because there's one more thing which I was just realizing. I go and I work out in the gym, and
Right.
I understand that if you don't go, you feel very weird in the
Yeah, you
evenings.
do. You do.
So there's a fine balance between your sleep is also equally important.
Yes.
Sleep is the biggest thing that you can give to your body.
It heals everything for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Trainer, when I go to the gym, I've seen so many, like you said, that they are just in a competition to, just taking heavy weights and all without looking at your
Right.
posture. And it's not actually about that, but consistently, like you said, building onto that
I
whole.
think, like you also rightly mentioned, many of them are in a path to just look bigger every day. I think that's not what it is all about.
Yes.
You'd still do it, but in a certain gradual way. Not like you lift 10 kgs today and jump to 20 kgs tomorrow. You're ruining your body. Yeah.
So that posture is very important, I feel. So as an entrepreneur, as a cyclist, as a like a ambassador for promoting fitness, what is your ultimate goal out of all of this?
So again, very honestly, I will be able to give a very limited time to this campaign overall in a year.
Yeah.
So I have to focus on my work, my personal life, and this, right? So to the extent I could do, my agenda is to meet as many colleges as possible, talk about sports, talk about fitness, and ensure we increase the community overall.
Correct.
Bringing more people under the roof is my agenda. So, like I was talking about Uma, the athlete who is going for World Championship Open category, when I posted saying, we happened to randomly meet her in a college. She came down and we issued a grant. We announced a grant. A lot of people in my DMs and comments started saying, we also want to contribute. See, it's not about the money, but for somebody to get support from as many people is a high. Sporting needs a certain high to be able to go to the next step. It's a very community driven thing, right? Like if Virat Kohli hits a six and the people in the stadium are not cheering for him, he will not be able to hit another six. I assure you that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's about the community that has to come forward.
So once you finish 750 kilometers, what will be your ultimate goal? Like after you finish that, and what are you? What fear you have of being most misunderstood about Fear project?
Very good question. I have signed up to do 4 tours this year, 1 tour per quarter. That's as much time I could take out of my work routine. And completing this is a very self achievement for me, very personal achievement for me. I'm not doing this for credit from public, but if somebody has to take something good from it, it's amazing and I'll be more happy than it is. But the downside of this, right? A lot of people might think, we are doing it for PR, we are doing it for the publicity, and, it's a stunt. Okay, so what's wrong in PR? I don't see anything wrong in PR. If you're able to put your face to a project, humbly saying, if you're able to put your face to a project and the project is taking a good shape.
Correct.
People are getting inspired. People are supporting you, cheering you. And the community is definitely growing. The fear community for me is growing.
Yeah.
See, when I started in Hyderabad on day one, we had about 100 people in the venue for the flag off. It was part one. Day two, we went to a college, we had 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So the community grew from 100 to 1,000,
Yeah.
right? So for me, every day is a growth, and I focus on what I am trying to do. Ignorance is bliss.
That's amazing. It was so amazing to talk to you today. And
Pleasure.
you are extremely inspiring, and I feel that this this fear project must go on forever, because honestly it's
Thank you so much.
creating a fitter India, and there's so much to take away from your journey. And I
Thank
feel
you.
that you do much more of these
Thank you.
projects
Thank
in the
you.
future. And thank you so much for talking with us. Honestly, it was one of the most unfiltered conversations that we had.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
Super grateful.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much
And
for
I'm
taking-
also looking forward to turning these tables around in this evening.
Yes.
Yeah. When I get to ask you what you are up to in life. Looking forward to this.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.